Anyways. We are moving right along into our top Zen, and we've got a party in here because we've got some things to be excited about in 2021. So if you see any confetti, that's why. As January comes to a close this evening, we feel the cold breeze of a new year hit our faces. But 2020 was essentially a dumpster fire, and to be honest, this year has so far kept the fire blazing, but not all hope is lost. All right, like always, the entertainment industry is here to remind us that everything will be okay, and that nothing really matters, and just go watch TV. So this week we wanted to break down our top 10 things that we are excited for in 2021, and I will kick it off with number 10. What if Marvel made a What If series based on all the different kind of crazy variables that could come into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Wouldn't that be fucking crazy, guys?
That would be.
Yeah. That would be crazy. Well, that's exactly what's coming in at number 10 in the countdown, is Marvel's What If series. The What If series is basically a animated series based off of various scenarios within the Marvel universe that could or couldn't happen, from Peggy Carter being Iron Man, to zombie Captain America, to T'Challa being Star-Lord, to all kinds of crazy shit. And personally, it's one of the things that I'm most excited about when it comes to 2021, that we're finally going to get our first peek at this. Marvel's done really, really well with their animated films lately. If it's anything like Into the Spider-Verse, then we could get something that's really, really worth our time, and maybe even Mandalorian level binge worthy. And that's honestly where my expectations are for What If right now. Jake, how do you feel? Do you think What If can compare to, say, Mando level kind of greatness?
Well, when you said that, the MCU animated, I was like, what animated thing have they had in a while? And then Spider-Man, oh my God, like Into the Spider-Verse was phenomenal. So if we get anything like that for What If, holy shit, like I'm definitely here for it. I've never really read too much of the comics. I know Cape, our producer, huge fan. And so I know that, he'll probably be like, right after the show, tell me everything I need to know about it. But, but like overall, like, I'm excited for anything coming out of Marvel. So far, WandaVision's been great. And like you said, if it's anything like a Mando style or anything like Into the Spider-Verse, even, like, I'm here for it.
Yeah, me too. Are you excited for the What If series, Sax? What scenario are you most looking forward to checking out?
You said something about Zombie Cap, and that just said my second favorite Marvel hero. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, you already killed Steve Rogers for real, and brought him back to life. So you ain't bring him back to life, and so now he's just walking around undead with vibranium. I'm just getting it in. I tell you, it caused a lot of arguments, and I'm for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the What If series is definitely going to be I think like the name of it's even amazing. Like, just because it's like, it's going to be the ultimate What If series, like what if these things would have happened? And so super exciting to see, because they can go in all kinds of crazy story directions for that.
Oh yeah. The limitless possibilities with it is what I think excites me the most. I'm just super excited. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm super excited to see it in 2021. But moving right along, because we've got 10 of these things that we're super excited about, and I'm also super fucking excited about the Book of Boba Fett coming in at number 9. Jake, tell us why the Book of Boba Fett makes number 9 on the countdown.
Well, hell yeah, this is the way. Teased in a surprise end credit sequence following the season finale of The Mandalorian, the legendary bounty hunter's journey will continue in the Book of Boba Fett. Jon Favreau, executive producer of The Mandalorian, confirmed on Good Morning America that the new series is currently in production and will air December 21st on Disney+. Boba Fett and his father / DNA donor Jango Fett have always been fan favorites, and I personally lost my shit when Boba showed up in the latest season of The Mandalorian. But Dodd, how stoked are you to finally see how Boba Fett got out of that Sarlacc pit?
Look, I'm very interested to see what Boba Fett was eating in that Sarlacc pit because
Sarlacc.
he came out with a fucking dad bod. Like he was like, "Oh, it just took a long time to get out of the Sarlacc pit. There's some days where I was like, I don't know, I'm just gonna smoke weed and watch TV, but I just don't think I'm gonna get out of here." Like, how did you get the? I want to know how Boba Fett got the dad bod. That's what I really want to know.
20 pounds in a Sarlacc pit in the desert. You know what I mean?
Right?
Like, but
you'd think he'd be starving.
Yeah.
Right?
But no, I mean, like, I didn't want to be too ageist against the actor. You know, he's probably coming back, dusting off some, armor that he hasn't put on in a long time.
Maybe so.
And so, like, like maybe between Mando and this season, he'll get some time to like buff it up a little bit. But then at the same time, like, dad bod it on. I'm here for dad bod Jango.
Yeah, maybe
Boba.
And also, like, you got to think that the Sarlacc pit was like a 1-day thing. Like he got stuck in there and he got out of there and he started like, like the story of Boba Fett. He wasn't in the Sarlacc pit for however long it was between whenever Mando starts and the fall of the Empire.
Obviously. Which is what's going to be interesting to see him go into in this series, see like just where he's been, what he's been doing, what the, like, it's because it obviously, it looks like he's been kicking it.
Right. I think Bronwyn asked me on one of the shows what was my favorite Boba Fett moment. And I answered back with the last moment we saw Boba Fett, which was him coming back to Jabba's palace and just being like, pew, pew, this shit's mine now. All right. So I'm going to kick my feet up and this begins the book of Boba Fett. Like, badass. Like that's some big dick energy right there. I'm not going to lie.
That's Boba Fett.
That's Boba Fett. Got that big Boba energy. Yeah.
Me not having a Boba Fett themed.
Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, nice. Very, very casual there. I was wondering why you were looking so weird there for a minute, and I was like, okay, I get it. You're taking a drink of water, but no, makes sense.
It's even got the little skull logo on the top. There we go.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. Well, speaking of wandering around in space, number 8 on the countdown is Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Sax, tell us why Mass Effect Legendary Edition comes in at number 8 on this countdown.
Yes. According to BioWare, it's tough keeping a big secret now, but it's official. Finally, after years of fans asking for it, a remastered version of the original Mass Effect trilogy will be here sometime in 2021. Now, some of you may or may not know this. My entertainment handle is Javen Shepard, and Shepard part of it is 1000% from Commander Shepard in the series. Mass Effect is
nice.
Yeah, Mass Effect is one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. A quick little funny story, real quick. I went to Game Crazy, by the way. That is a game store that was eons better than GameStop. It was in association with Hollywood Video. Some of you are too young to even know what that means. Anyway.
Oh man, I remember Hollywood. You just put me back. I do remember Hollywood Video. Oh my gosh.
Video, yeah.
That was back when there was a competitor with Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And if you lived in Alabama, Movie Gallery.
Oh my! I didn't know Movie Gallery. That one's beyond me.
I don't know about that, but I went into Crazy to buy Assassin's Creed, the very first one. So this was back in 2007. And when I was in there, an employee asked me if I ever heard of Mass Effect. And I told him no. And he was like, you should check this game out. It's kind of like a space drama. Now, I had not heard anything about Mass Effect before. I'm going to tell you right now, one of the greatest decisions I ever made for video games in my life. I'm not sure about how you guys feel, but I'm super excited to run around and Shepard again. How about you, Jake? Have you taken a trip on your favorite rocket ship zooming through the galaxy?
Honestly, the first Mass Effect I ever played was Mass Effect Andromeda. And I know that's crazy to think of, like, because like a lot of fans thought Andromeda was the worst, right? But as somebody who had never played the franchise coming into it, I was like, this isn't a bad game, and I had a good time playing it. I thought it was a good, decent story, right? And went through it. But then I went back and played the older ones. And while definitely the newer ones spoiled me with better controls, combat was a little bit better and everything. The stories of the first one, some of the character development, everything like that was definitely super strong. It was almost the Fallout thing because my first Fallout game was Fallout 4. And so like everybody was like, no, dude, you got to go back all the way to New Vegas, you know, like, and you got like, you got to get in there. And so now I'm definitely looking forward to getting back into Mass Effect again, because I even downloaded and played some of the originals on my Xbox not too long ago. And so hopefully seeing them remastered and everything, it's going to be great to play it like almost as if it's a whole epic, you know what I mean? Like, because I don't think I've ever been able to do that.
I cannot wait.
And the stories pick up off of each other, which is one of the impressive things about Mass Effect too. So decisions you made in Mass Effects 1, 2, 3, they all like carry over into the other games if you have those saves. And so putting them all together like this is only the next logical solution from, you know, the BioWare. And so
I played Mass Effect 2 for a little while. Now I played it in the worst possible way that you could possibly. This also shows how dated just the Mass Effect franchise is in general. I got this from I think a Redbox. And it was one of those that charges you, like if you go over on it, like it charged you about, and I started playing it so long that I was going over on the time. And this game, I was like, at this point I should just buy the fucking game instead of renting it and getting an overage charge. And when I returned it,
$60 now.
Right. When I returned it, sunk cost fallacy prevented me from, I was broke in college. So it was a bad time for me to get it. But I will tell you this much, as I've been obsessing over fucking Star Trek, The Next Generation, like the old 90s show and rewatching that lately, and just getting my whole like wanting to just explore through space in a sci-fi environment kind of thing, I think that I'm going to be flocking to Mass Effect, and I think that it's going to be one of the games that I'll be streaming for a good minute. I think it's a great one where you really, you know, can flesh out who Shepard is to you, and I think that's why so many people love Shepard so much, is because the Shepard that they made is the Shepard that they created for at least some extent. And you know, so that's that's an aspect that I think. Right, and you can fuck
in the first 3 were much better than the customization in Andromeda, which made zero sense as far as the character design.
They took the Fable route, where somehow the older the game gets, the less you can customize a character. And
whatever.
They just, you know, wanted to keep those cinematic sequences all the same as what I think it was.
Oh man, and some of those, Jesus Christ.
All right, well, moving right along on the countdown is something I am personally super fucking excited for, which is the Gen 4 remakes. Yes, that's right. We're talking about Pokemon Diamond and Pearl coming to the Switch. We're gonna have it happen somewhere in February. We know it's happening. It's honestly, I'm surprised this isn't much higher on the list. Gen 4 remakes have been all over the news right now. After the success of Sword and Shield, Pokemon fans have been dying to get back to a new Pokemon adventure. The Sinnoh region has been a big fan favorite, and it's an incredible region that has really built it was an incredible region that really built onto the franchise, and with one of the toughest Pokemon champions in all of Pokemon. The remakes have all been but confirmed through various leaks. We really know this is coming. I mean, like this has been leaking since it's been leaking for so long that we did a parody video on the leaks. And that video is like one of our oldest videos. Like, but anyways, we know that this is something that they wanted to save for their 25th anniversary of Pokemon Day. That's coming up this February. And I just can't wait to see what we're going to see on that day. And I tell you what, I'll put it to you this way. If they don't give us Gen 4 remakes, at this point, you're going to get a lot of deflated air because people have been building this up for so long. So it's not a threat, Pokemon Company, but it's kind of a threat.
Let them know.
With the success of Sword and Shield on the Switch, can you see yourself jumping into some Gen 4 remakes, Jake?
Oh yeah, no, definitely, because I think I had fallen off the Pokemon bandwagon by Gen 4. And I think we were talking about this a little earlier, even in Discord, but it was in the Nerd Herd Discord, which you can join, by the way.
Right.
And so
there's a link down below.
We were talking about it a little earlier because I was just like, which ones were Gen 4? And I think you said it was Diamond and Pearl, right?
Right.
And so, like I never played through Diamond and Pearl back in the day. You know, not to age myself again, but like, I was a yellow, red, blue guy, and then eventually played like the fire red, like or leaf green, all those guys. And then I don't know what happened. I think I quit playing Pokemon games. And so it'd be nice to get back into them and go through and play Gen 4 because I never got to really play in the Soho region when it originally dropped.
Let me give you my little rant on why Gen 4 is one of the best of the earliest generations.
Who are your starters?
It's not going to be that long. Okay, your starters is one of the reasons why it's such a great generation. Okay, it's Chimchar, Turtwig, and the penguin, Piplup.
Oh yeah, I definitely never played that one.
So here's the reason why this trio, the starting trio, is so good. Okay, your fire Pokemon evolves into a fire and fighting. Your water Pokemon evolves into a water and steel, and your grass Pokemon evolves into a grass and ground. All of those secondary typings mean that no matter what starter you get, they're weak to the other in some way, and they're strong against the other in some way. Grass is strong against water, but ground is strong against fire. Fighting is strong against steel, but water is obviously strong against fire, and so forth. So all of the starters are balanced. That's one of the reasons why I like this generation so much. This is also the generation that added evolutions to stuff like Electivire as the evolution of Electabuzz, Magmortar as the evolution of Magmar, Rhyperior, which has been a big one in the competitive community as the evolution to Rhyhorn. And you have all these additional evolutions that you added on there. You've got a great storyline that's evolving around probably one of the best legendary stories out there, next to the greatest legendary story, which is Gen 3, the land and sea stuff. But this is time and space. And then you have the alternate dimension with Gurana, where you can go into like this little twisted time zone. Anyways, there's so many cool things to do in Gen 4. We spent way too much time on this topic, but I'm super excited to see Gen 4 remakes. Sax, do you have any interest in Pokemon? Are you buying this at all?
Sad face. I have not played a single one of those games.
All right, well, you'll just have to fucking watch me play all of them then.
I'm tired of remakes. I want an RPG style open world Pokemon game. Give it to me, Nintendo.
They're going to dick tease you all the way until the day that happens. I mean, eventually it'll happen, but it'll be on the day that Pokemon is finally taking a downturn and not being the most financially successful entertainment.
They'll drop it when we know
Disney.
they'll drop it when they know the meteor's on its way. Like they'll be like, well, they only got a week to live. Let's drop that open world Pokemon RPG.
Pokemon RPG. Quick, release the open world Pokemon RPG, and we're just all like, we knew they had it the whole time.
You have 1 week.
For real.
Play.
You have a week. Yeah. This is not a threat, but it's kind of a threat. Moving right along onto the countdown. Number 6, The Matrix 4. Jake, tell us why The Matrix 4 is number 6 on the countdown.
Well, I shouldn't have to really tell you why a new Matrix film coming out this year has everyone stoked, but we haven't really heard much about the upcoming film so far. The last that we did hear is that Warner and HBO are aiming for a December 22nd release date of this year, which would put it as one of their slated, and right now it's slated as one of their direct to HBO Max pieces of content. Keanu was everywhere in 2020 and also in 2077, but whatever. And it's great to see that continuing into 2021. With this longtime staple in nerd culture. We were talking about nerd culture earlier. Things like The Matrix definitely were, things that went mainstream, that were also really kind of like looked at as kind of like, stuff that only geeks and nerds would care about. It's jacking into fucking computer worlds and robots and shit. Like, come on. But yeah, the Matrix franchise has always broken barriers when it came to setting a tone for sci-fi action films. Sax, how stoked are you to see the one dodging bullets again?
Man, I'll tell you, it's been so long. I'm so excited to see, Neo again, to see Trinity again, to see Morpheus again. I'm so excited to see those cast of characters again because, man, it kind of revolutionized things a little bit. And like the slow motion thing,
bullet time,
everybody uses, it came from the Matrix. Essentially. And if the Matrix bit off of somebody else, I don't remember them to mention them. Saying right. That's how I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, because if I'm not mistaken, I read something, I think the title is called Matrix 4 Resurrection.
Right. That was one thing I was going to say. I think the title kind of gave it away, the fact that Neo's coming back from the dead.
Big facts. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would play in line with the Jesus Christ scenario that
What?
Neo's always been set up for.
Right.
There's so much I could go to on that.
Yeah.
Touch it, but it's so much parallel. Even if you look back at the first Matrix movie, like when he was in the kitchen,
Right.
something written in like Hebrew. That you know what? Nope, not gonna do it.
I don't want to spend too much time on the Matrix either, even though it was my thing for one of the things I'm looking forward to. But I saw somebody the other day that like kind of blew my mind when they said that the robots could have picked any animal to keep alive, but they chose humans. And it was because like they really they never really had anything against the humans. Humans started the war and like all that stuff. And it was like, holy shit. So are we the baddies?
Right. Were we the bad guys all along? Maybe we're the virus.
Hey,
blew my mind.
Yeah.
The Matrix still blowing minds in 2021.
Still blowing minds. Well, speaking of blowing minds, but in like, much more like a silencer with
Hitman
lead
type
coming
of
out
way.
of the end kind of way. Number 5 in the countdown is No Time to Die, the new 007 movie. Sax, tell us why No Time to Die makes number 5 in the countdown.
yes, that's right. Creative differences causing the original director to throw up the deuces. The 5th installment of Daniel Craig's James Bond movie, No Time to Die, is coming out this year. It's set to be Daniel Craig's last go at the fictional British MI6 agent, sad face. And the movie is projected to be released sometime in October. It looks like October 8th of this year. And it's been about 6 years since the last Bond movie came out. I believe it was Spectre. And with this being Daniel's last hoorah, I'm really looking forward to seeing it and see what happens. And because I tell you, man, he's worth mentioning up there with top Bonds like Connery and Pierce Brosnan. Like he's definitely
100%.
he's in the conversation.
Right.
And arguably could be number one. Arguably, I would still say it's Sean, but you know what I'm saying. But still, like
You can't beat the classics.
Yeah, then Sean Connery's hard. Sorry, not Sean Connery, but Pierce Brosnan is high up there for me.
Pierce Brosnan, I think because of when we grew up, Pierce is like
Right.
my 007. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
100%. So, what do you say, Dot? Are you ready to send Mr. Craig out with one final bang?
Yeah, I'm ready to see it, honestly, because I'm ready for any fucking content that I can consume right now. But spy movie, Daniel Craig, 007, I'm all about it. I think that I've been on and off a bunch of 007 movies as of late with Craig, mostly just because I think they just come out sporadically and I haven't really been like, if there's a movie that I'm going to go see, if it's competing with a superhero movie, which they usually are, I'm going to go spend the money on the new Spider-Man movie or the new Captain America flick or the new whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And so I haven't seen too much of Craig's latest run, but I do remember distinctly, I can't remember if it's Skyfall or one of the first ones, that torture scene where he's getting the shit beat out of his nuts, and I can't get that image out of my head to save the life of me.
I know exactly
I still,
what you're talking about too. That's
right?
what's
I feel
hilarious
like it
about it. I
scarred
remember
me.
that scene.
Right. I feel like there's one thing about Daniel Craig's Bond that I can't get out, and is that him getting tortured there. And I've seen Pierce Brosnan get tortured as Bond. I've seen, no, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. I've seen all of it, right? But that scene stuck with me,
Yeah.
The balls with a heavy metal object for
that's what it was. Right.
Yeah.
And you could hear him grunting in a way that like it's like it was like nauseating.
Mhm.
And like every guy who's
you
gotten
could feel
hit
it in his
in the
lower
nuts,
gut.
Yeah,
right, when you
like,
can I don't know how, but they were able to capture that pain in that moment, and I could feel it in the theater, and I was like, I don't want any more popcorn, like
Is this hostile?
right. So I will be happy to see No Time to Die, and hopefully there will be much less cock and ball torture.
Turns out I'm not into that.
Not into CBT, my bad. Moving right along though, number 4 in the countdown it's a big one, guys.
Yeah.
It's a big one. It's a real big one. And that's mostly just a pun. Because as much as we like to complain about remakes and reboots, this matchup is an absolute classic, and we are hyped to see the CGI fight of the century. If you got an uncharacteristically antagonistic Godzilla and a Kong that uses tools, plus it has hints of is that hints of Mecha Godzilla in there as well? Delish.
Some people pausing are saying so.
Some people pausing are saying exactly so. With this hitting theaters and HBO Max, it is sure to be one that everyone can enjoy safely. And man, are we looking forward to it. Sax, are you team King of the Monsters or team King of the Kongs?
You know what? I'm just gonna go out here and just say it. I'm definitely King of the Monsters. You know, let's go. We out here.
Oh, man, am I the only? I feel like I'm the only one on this team that is Team Kong here.
Well, maybe on this team, I know some folks that have said Kong.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, look, Wukong all day. You know what I'm saying? You know, I do that. Staff Brothers, let's get it, Goku. You already know what it is, but I'm trying to tell you right now, King Kong looking at Godzilla. King Kong is going to stare at Godzilla, forming a fucking spirit bomb in his mouth and shoot it at him and obliterate his entire existence. I don't give a damn what you give King Kong. He's just gonna look. He's just gonna make a Rasengan in his hand with his mouth. I'm gonna throw this at you, and that's just gonna be the end of you, you monkey. And that sounds really terrible as I said that out loud. Moving on.
I've loved the memes that are like walking power plant, and it's like monkey.
Right. For real. But I mean, like, look, with Kong wielding that big ass axe in there, like and that to me is a game changer. Like
they purposely showed him holding tools. Yeah. No, they purposely showed him using tools to make people go, he's smart. He's one of the great apes. You know, how is he not smarter than a lizard? But then they don't realize that lizard's a nuclear power plant. Like it's essentially like a nuke walking around in a lizard body shooting nukes out. And how many buildings can Kong pick up to deflect? He's gonna run out of buildings.
For all intents and purposes, why wouldn't it stand to reason that Kong and Godzilla would be more intelligent than us? They're giant. They would have gigantic brains.
Brain size does not necessarily. It's not the same. Look at elephants. They're fucking huge. But I don't see them doing arithmetic.
Right, but they're significantly more intelligent. Same with whales.
Oh no, they're super smart.
Not saying,
but they didn't come up with gravity.
Right, I get that. Yeah, we got gravity on them, right? I'm not comparing us to. Come on now.
No, but I do think they purposely showed Kong with the tools to make people be like, okay, yeah, because he is like a great ape. So they would use tools, stuff like that. Like Godzilla's just gonna be walking around, fucking breathing fire, smacking shit down, right? He's doing his Godzilla shit. You know, he's always been that guy, right? And so, I mean, I don't know. I really just hope. I'm super hyped for this movie too. That's why it's number 4. I would honestly say these top 4 really are kind of tied for one. Well, I don't know. One may be number 1 legitimately, but anyway, like I think this movie's super hype, and I hope they don't like back out and make it something where like, you know, they're fighting, but then they get a respect for each other, and then now like no one wins. You know what I mean? Like, I want a definitive. I want a winner.
They gotta go broke.
I want Kong over Godzilla's lifeless body, or vice versa. Like I want.
No, big facts. Like just wrecking his life. But I'm gonna tell you right now, like just the way that I'm picturing this right now, Godzilla is fucking Madara, and King Kong is Tintin with her tools. That's literally what I see happening. Of me to use that comparison. But that's just what I see. Now, hopefully, you know, if you know King Kong can pull off some John Woo shit and beat his ass with tools, I'm definitely down to see that. You know what I'm saying? I'd pay to see him go Wukong on Godzilla, but like
would be dope.
Godzilla.
Yeah. It would be. I mean, I'm interested to see what Kong's gonna do and what else he's gonna come up with. We know he's got the axe. We saw the axe in there. I'm hoping there's some more tools in his tool belt that he uses. Right. But I think like, you know, if we see like, you know, Kong, you know, take a big chain of boats or something like that and try to strangle Godzilla with it, like that would be cool. That would be so cool. And I guess that's why I'm Team Kong.
Walk.
Right. Okay, all right. We need to get further through this countdown though.
This
Number
isn't a
3
deep
on the
dive
countdown.
on King Kong.
This isn't a deep dive on King Kong. We're super excited about these. Genuinely excited.
Yeah.
Number 3 on the countdown is Halo Infinite. Jake, tell us why Halo Infinite makes number 3 on the countdown.
Well, I mean, Halo Infinite is easily one of the most highly anticipated Xbox Series X games on the horizon. It was supposed to be and was a pretty highly anticipated launch title, but that got pushed back, right? And it promises to pretty much reboot the Halo franchise from the ground up. The game was supposed to be launched with Microsoft's Xbox Series X console, but that sadly was delayed. Halo Infinite is now scheduled to arrive during fall of 2021, so we're looking at a September to December timeframe, but a real date has yet to be given. So, but given the nightmare that was Cyberpunk 2077's launch, I think it's easy to say why we should let the devs just take it slow on this one. And also, I don't know a single person personally that has gotten their hands on an Xbox Series X yet. And so, and I know a lot of Xbox fans, you know, I know a lot of PS5 fans too, but scalpers kind of beat us on that. In the digital economy, they've got to do something about that. But anyway, so I'm still, you know, kind of super stoked and ready to smash Elites again if that's the way we go. I don't give a fuck if it's the Flood. Like, come on, give me a new, just hopefully it looks better than Craig did on the original, like how they showed it, right? And that's
beautiful.
That may be why they're taking some more time.
Appreciate this.
But Sax, I know on your stream that you recently got down on some of the Master Chief collection. How excited are you to see the new Halo dropping this year now that you've officially rejoined the Halo fan club?
Hey man, look, I'm super duper excited. The little series that I'm running with my boy Sad Gaming. Go check him out. Shameless plug.
Sag was in the chat popping earlier, so shouts out Sag.
Yeah, shout out Sag. Go check him out. He's really good.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. We decided to, since I have not played the first one, because I played the second one and I played it mostly for the multiplayer, and I played through, and then when I got it, I was like, okay. Then I kind of got really hyped for I went to the midnight release. Remember midnight releases for video games?
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
yes,
we used to cover them on Geeklife when it was a
we did.
Show. Yeah,
right.
Here we go. So I remember going to the midnight release for I'm looking for it. I don't see it. I have a Halo 3 shirt somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like there's all
right from going to the midnight release.
Yeah, big facts. And like I'm super stoked for the Halo Infinite coming out because like I want to play as Chief on current gen shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'll tell you my biggest gripe, and it's Sad Gaming's biggest gripe too. I can't sprint. I can't sprint, and I move like a snail in that heavy ass armor. And I need 2021 shit to be better for Chief. So I'm definitely definitely looking forward to comes of it.
I mean, even the dudes from Gears of War can like hustle it with the sprint button, right? And their armor looks a lot heavier. Like they look like fucking linebackers. You know, and they can still pick it up when they need to.
They made the first Master Chief or the first couple not able to sprint because they wanted you to walk through there murdering people. They wanted you to like Michael Myers that shit. They didn't want you to take you're not. This isn't Doom. Master Chief savors that.
He wants you to honor the masterpiece that you created.
Yeah, Master Chief's just like walking around like bringing death. He's not, you know, he's not Doom guy. He doesn't run around.
They don't call him Restaurant Chief, right? They don't call him, you know, like little nitty gritty, low level chief. They call him Master Chief because he's cooking up something good for you.
He also had gray hair the first time he ever pulled that helmet off, and so we know he's got a little age on him. So
yeah.
Called him Demon. The Covenant called him Demon. You know,
Demon. Yeah,
they called.
They feared him.
I wonder whenever you died.
You're not locked in there. Master Chief's not locked in there with you. You're locked in there with Master Chief.
For real. Big facts. Well, we're getting down to the top 3, and number 2 on our countdown is definitely someone you don't also want to be locked in a cage with, which is the cast of Gotham Knights. This game looks so fucking dope. And of course it's coming from the same people that did our the Arkham Knight series, which is one of my favorite series of all time. Sax, take it away. Tell us why Gotham Knights makes number 2.
Man, oh man. Yes, 5.5 years since we had our last Batman game, and spoiler alert, he blows up and dies in the end. Quote,
Wah,
True.
wah.
we finally get a new WB Games Montreal Batman-ish game with Gotham Knights. Something definitely to look forward to that's coming out sometime this year with no exact release date as of yet. The game story takes place sometime after the B-Man's apparent death, and apparently Jim Gordon has also kicked the bucket. So shit, and that's unfortunate for Gotham.
He was pretty old though.
I was gonna say Gotham is definitely gonna be in disarray.
Right.
Yeah.
And not to go too spoiler alert for too many people, but one of the big things that Jim Gordon does at the end is he tries to take Batman's mantle with Scarecrow's fear gas as a thing. And so he was kind of
Batman for
he
a
was
little
pushing it. He was pushing it those last couple of years, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah, and like I said, Gotham, there's a rise of crime and chaos. Now, who better to step up to the plate when the city needs them most? None other than Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl, and Red Hood. Yep, you
My
get to
boy J
swap
Todd.
bad guys with Bruce Wayne's kids. Sorry, Damien. This game. I absolutely love the WB Batman games, with the exception of Origins, of course. That game was trash. Guys, any of you looking forward to making the streets of Gotham safe once more?
One, I still stand that Origins in their multiplayer mode was very entertaining and fun. I do think that it was a very different Batman game, and it wasn't one that I liked the most of all the series. Arkham City is still the pinnacle and will always be the pinnacle,
Yeah,
in my opinion. But Red Hood is my favorite character, a Batman character of all time. Probably my favorite comic book character of all time. Like that's my big one. So any game where he's a playable character and we get to play more in his storyline. I mean, honestly, like I'm not a big first person shooter fan. So having the fact that you can have a character that has guns in there has no weight to me at all. But the fact that you have Red Hood in there for his story and that input there is very, very exciting to me. And I honestly cannot wait to get my hands on it. The Rocksteady has done an absolute amazing job with the Arkham franchise in the past. They have yet to disappoint, honestly. And Origins definitely had some letdowns in there, but that was WB Montreal. That's not who's taking care of Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights is WB Montreal.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
It is WB Montreal. Never mind. But I still got faith in Gotham Knights. As I said earlier, I didn't think Origins was as bad as a lot of other people did. I think that they did make a lot of different story choices there that were interesting. But I mean, the aspect that they were really building on in that last Batman game with the kind of dual fights, I think plays better in the setup that they have for Gotham Knights. And anything to dig deeper into the Batman rogue gallery, especially the D, E, and F list villains of Batman's rogue gallery, because he's got a ton of great ones, but he's also got honestly a ton of good shitty ones too. I think is going to be a good thing for sure. Jake, what do you think?
Oh no, I mean, just to echo, I liked all of the Batman. Like, I thought Origins wasn't that bad. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on that one. Like, I know that it's compared to City and the other ones,
compared to City,
like
it's not, it doesn't hold a candle.
Yeah, but like still, like I love these. I love Batman games. Like, and so I'm excited for this one. I know that it's not necessarily going to be featuring Batman, but then we don't even really know. We're definitely like picking that up from what they're showing in trailers and everything so far. But there's no telling what could really go on in this game. Like I think even the Damien joke is an interesting one to make because who's to say in some DLC we don't get Damien added in, like, right? Like, because he's going to be a little bit more adult now, and so. But no, I think this one's definitely something that I've got. Whenever the date comes, it's going to be marked on a calendar.
No,
Damien's also grown on me as one of my favorite Robins too. I mean, obviously my favorite is Red Hood right off the bat, but Damien's close up there just because he's not because I relate to the character at all, just because he's a character, a very, very unique character, and like anything in the Batman universe,
100%. And there was real quick, just side note, there was something that was said, definitely speculation right now, but it wouldn't be a bad idea that the next Batman featured game would be 20 years past when Batman died, and the person that is donning the cowl is Damian Wayne. So
That would make sense.
I wouldn't be too upset with that because I'm like,
Oh, Damian Wayne as Batman is something that they've done canonically in the comics before. I think that's the word, right? That was the right way to use that, right?
I think so.
Canonically.
Yeah,
It felt like it.
Well, you just use it again. If it's not a word, it's now because we used it twice.
Right? I've somebody call Webster. I feel like that flowed well. I could have just gone past it, but I feel like we needed to make a point about that. Anyways, but that has happened in the past in the comic books, and Damian's Batman is much more ruthless, much more like what you would see in the
Jason Todd
Superman. If Jason Todd took it. Jason Todd has taken the mantle before as well, but that's when Batman's been real sick. And when he does that, there's like, oh, this is nothing to say, Batman. This guy's using guns and is going to blow us in the face, And that's your last little parting thought right before you die is, oh, this isn't Batman.
Give me Batman Beyond, you cowards.
Right. Yeah. I mean, hey,
like if they want to keep going into the future and doing all kinds of like cool Batman shit, give me fucking another Batman Beyond game. A lot of people don't remember the Game Boy Color game, but that thing was jumping, and it was a side-scrolling beat 'em up style bullshittery, but like a full like on like Batman style Batman Beyond game because they even had a Batman Beyond skin. I think it was Arkham Knight. I want to say
right.
Arkham
it
Knight.
was Arkham Knight, and oh my god, dude, it looks so fucking clean.
Mm-hmm.
And so, dude, give me Batman Beyond. I've always wanted us to wait until like Christian Bale was old enough to play that old rickety ass Bruce Wayne because I think he could kill that role. Because he
still go with who's the guy that played Vulture? Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one. I just need more Batman Beyond in my life. I feel like they made that banger of a series and then they just slept on it for all these years. Bring it back.
It's a great franchise. It's still there. I mean, like Batman in the future, there's no reason why you can't revisit that.
And they're doing the multiverse shit. So like, fuck it. Come on, bring me some more Batman Beyond.
Let's do it all. Do it all. I'm right there with you. But we definitely buried the lead because number one is something we even talked about in the headlines today. Yeah, that's right. The return of G4. Honestly, what could be more exciting than this announcement that we heard this week that G4 is coming back. The death of G4 left a lack of content in the world that is really yet to be replaced. Hell, this show was created to fill that void. We talked about this earlier. Hire us, G4. Hi, G4 needs talent. You got talent right here. You can find me at Bruce Bane. You can find Sax at the Fattest Sax. You can find Jake. All those. We got all that. Yeah, you get all of our contact info is right here. Hire us. Anyways,
we correspond so well. Did you see me correspondent? I corresponded hard.
Yeah, one of the best corresponders I know. He's very good at corresponding. But what shows are y'all most excited to see come back? Personally, for me, it's X-Play. I think that that was one of the shows that honestly I don't think I appreciated as much. No, shit, it's not X-Play. It's not X-Play. It's Attack of the fucking Show. Attack of the Show was my favorite show on that network and was something that I really felt entertained by and is what Geek Life is modeled after. Spoiler alert. But that I think that is hands down what I'm most excited to see. Which show are you guys most excited to see come back?
Oh man, definitely X-Play because I think that's the biggest one. Or not X-Play, but Attack of the Show. X-Play is a close second. But I definitely like they just those were obviously the top two. I'm gonna be interested to see what additional like new content they push on G4, right? It's been so long that I'm really excited to see what else they've come up with, right? I'm definitely stoked for X-Play, like we said, and definitely stoked for Attack of the Show. Those are two staples of the channel. Like when you close your eyes and you think of G4, those two obviously are going to show up, right? And so, just seeing that and, The Wire and everything like that. The Wire is essentially our headlines that we usually do, right? They used to do The Wire on G4. And so like, it's just, it's great that they're coming back. And I think it's the time. Like we said, pop culture is nerd culture. That was the whole thing of New Nerds today, right? And so if there was ever a time for G4 to make a comeback, it's now. And so I'm super excited to see what they do with the show, and with the channel in general, and just to see what new content they even have to go along with some banger original older content that they've announced is coming back too.
Yeah. Me too. Sax, what are you excited to see come back?
Layla Kaylee. I'm kidding. Definitely Attack of the Show.
Right.
That was Kevin Pereira and Olivia Munn. Like the fact that I still remember those names. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Adam Sessler,
Yeah.
Morgan Webb. You know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
gosh. Oh.
Yeah, you're ready.
Yes.
Cheat with Christian Holt. You know, because that's who it was. And the host before Christian Holt was Corey Rouse. Yes, I remember all of
Oh
this.
wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Hey,
I
you forgot Chris Hardwick.
You guys remember what was it? Machinima, where they would play like the cut scenes of the video games. It was like a half an hour show of like segments of cut scenes, bro. Like
Do you want to know what's ingrained in my head?
What's that?
What?
Humanoid, your moves are so fresh. It's time for you to take the ultimate test. Hop on board, insert the key. We're going to flash back to 8T3 or whatever. Flock like a polar, don't get played. You are the new master of Starcade. And then they would play like an old episode of Starcade with it. And then I think they even tried to bring back Starcade towards the end of it, which was like this arcade-based, like fucking like, what was it? It was like an arcade-based like Wheel of Fortune style game show, right?
Oh wow!
And so like it was really interesting. Starcade, that shit was a banger. So,
that's great.
My favorite line from anything in G4 was from Corey Rouse and Cheat. Just throw it into God mode and keep kicking butt. That at the end, I still remember that. I was in high school when that was probably in middle school when that was a thing. So I 100%. I'm excited for all of it. That's the answer.
With cops being canceled, we avoided that.
Right. Yeah.
So we can at least know that
coming back.
Yeah, we at least know that cops will not be taking up half of the airtime.
And cheaters too. They tweeted about that at least. I mean, tweeters just telling me it was fucking awful too. And the monogamy. But it seems like it's going to be a fresh new show. And with the rise of content creation and the fact that there's just going to be so much fucking talent out there, I can't wait to see what G4 brings. And, maybe we can take a break after that, not really, but we can pretend.
I hope they call people up like to the big leagues. Like, it's like, oh man, dude, Sax is leaving next week. What happened? Got called up to G4.
Oh, that would be great, wouldn't it? That would be amazing.
Got called up to G4. He was streaming. Like they just pulled streamers. It's like right now we're all in a B league,
up, Scotty.
And then they're just like, hey, come to the NFL, buddy.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Be here too. Please bring them too.
Yeah. For real. All right. Well, I think that will wrap it up for this episode of Geek Life. We hope you guys have enjoyed everything today. Remember, if you want more Geek Life, you can either follow us on any of our personal socials. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Bruce Bane, WRUSE_BANE. Sax, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Javen Shepherd, and they can find me on Twitch at _fattest_Sax.
And Jake, where can they find you?
You can find me at Gonzo Gone Live on Twitch, Twitter, and yeah, I'm usually here. I actually have a very I'm going to stream next week. I want to stream every episode of R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet. I didn't realize it was 33 episodes. Now I want to be clear. I don't support who R. Kelly became, but at a time he made what may be one of the greatest hip operas of all time. And it's called Locked in the Closet. I only knew about 5 episodes. That was the extent of my knowledge. There's 33 of these bad boys. And so one of my first streams I want to do, and I've made this decision, is I want to watch all 33 of them. And we're going to go in. It gets very crazy. It is not a PC hip opera by far, so don't cancel me. But it's a wild ride, and it's one that I feel like everyone should go on. So we're going to go on it together.
That is a very interesting content choice. That is something that I think
my stream is bananas. I don't. We are non-binary.
What?
we just go with whatever we're feeling on that day, baby.
Oh my god.
That's not even okay.
Close
all
enough.
Right. You can also check out some Geek Life content on YouTube and Instagram. There's a lot of great stuff going out on YouTube. We're gonna have a review coming on later this week of Greedfall, as well as a bunch of
Great
stuff
game.
going on Instagram. Twitch, Twitters, all the other places. A big shout out to our moderator, Littlest Nelly, and our video producer, Cape, and all of our followers for the support. Let's see if he's got anything going on in chat. Supersonic Flash has been talking about showing that Diamond and Pearl love. Can't wait to see Godzilla beat Kong. Okay, obviously Supersonic Flash is very much Team Godzilla. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that in our Discord a lot. Supersonic Flash has been pretty big Godzilla stan. Also, as Sax Gonzo mentioned in the chat, if we missed anything that you're super excited about, let us know. You can either let us know in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube, or you can just tweet at us and message us any way you want to let us know. Let us know. We want to argue with you. And that's about it. I don't think did I miss anything. No, I think that's it, guys. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we will catch you guys next time. Till then, peace.
Peace.